Hello viewers, and it's time for a bit more Assetto Corsa. So here we are then in the McLaren 12C GT3, ready for a spin round the Nürburgring F1 circuit. And in this video I'm just doing a time trial. I've set my field of view correctly. Excellent field of view controls on Assetto Corsa. They're really intuitive, they work really well, and I've now got a perfect feel to the car. Always remember that these videos are not recorded from my eye level, they're higher than my eye level, and of course with the fisheye sort of view of the GoPro to get in a bit more of the viewing angle. Otherwise you wouldn't see the steering wheel, you'd just see the sort of top half of it really, and the dashboard there. So around that slow turn one, getting on the power, going past that bollard. Once you go past that bollard on that corner, it means the corner's opening up for you. You can quickly get on the power then slowing down that downhill bit. Always tricky here, losing traction through this section. I'm taking it quite tentative because I'm just trying to be consistent in terms of making the video. But let's talk Assetto Corsa for a minute. Well, I've got a much better frame rate now. Obviously it's not in race mode. There's a big difference for me between the time trial and the race mode in terms of performance. So in race mode I get a fantastic, in time trial I get a fantastic frame rate, good detail, and the feel of the McLaren is absolute. Well, all the cars in Assetto Corsa, you know, once you've got that frame rate there, it's all working right, you set your force feedback and everything correctly, it feels really, really good. And this car, this McLaren, really does feel fantastic. Now I've been testing the McLaren on iRacing, on Assetto Corsa, on project cars. Overall my feeling is that I enjoy it most in Assetto Corsa. I find that in project cars it feels very nice and intuitive, and I'm liking the feeling there, so I can jump straight out of this one into the project cars one and feel immediately at home. The iRacing version I feel seems to lack grip towards the rear, so when you're turning into a corner, often the rear end comes out and it's almost like it feels disconnected. It just loses grip at the moment. It's one of those little nuances of iRacing or cars sometimes where you kind of feel they have this sort of spinny feel to it to enhance the feel of simulation, but in actual fact this Assetto Corsa version has it just right. Yes, the car can spin out, but you have that movement in the suspension, that feeling in the tyres, just that feeling of being in the car going around the circuit. At the moment it's just a fantastic feeling, and that's why I was just happy to do some time trials just to enjoy the driving. It is tricky finding more speed. I don't know the correct gear for every corner. I'm testing different gears at the moment just to work out what works best for me in terms of consistent driving. You know, often this is a memory thing. You know, you get into a certain gear at a certain point, then you hit the brakes and you slide into a certain gear and so on, finding out how much speed you can carry through some of these corners and how early you can brake, get in there, get on the power. So it's a case of discovery, but I'm enjoying it. I'm just enjoying the driving and what Assetto Corsa is bringing to the table as it develops car by car, circuit by circuit. When the finished game launches, it's going to be something special. I've also been racing with the AI. I'm going to talk about that on another video. The AI is improving. It does depend on the car and track combination at the moment, but either way there's good development. So I'm having fun now on this rig. You know, it's taken a long time to get the money together and buy a decent rig and, you know, everything else, because as many viewers will know, over the last sort of 4 years it's taken time to get all the parts we need together at VVV in terms of cameras, mics, everything. You know, piece by piece it's come together, and I've wanted to do PC gaming for some time and just haven't had the equipment or the resource to do it, and now finally I can dive in and enjoy it and have a PC that can power an experience that really works. It works on YouTube, it works for the viewers to see, but also for me to enjoy and have a reasonable level of detail turned on as well, because these triple screens really do take up a lot in terms of processing performance, as I'm just trying to get it round. Time trial, I'd like to know from some of the Assetto Corsa people how to get the best scores. I'm finding that your first 2 laps seem to be the ones that really score the most points, and then after that it just continues to drop. Certainly for me, I'm on 5,000 at the moment, but a lot of that you get in that first lap. You get sort of 3,900 or something. And this isn't my best run, unfortunately. I didn't record my best run, which is typical. Forgot to turn the camera on. So it's always the way it happens. You do an amazing run. I had a great race earlier. Thought the camera was recording. Alas, it wasn't. And you lose out on a fantastic, what would have been a fantastic video, jostling with the AI. Of course, that was in the Formula Bath, which I've been enjoying. I do like the grippy Formula cars. Flat through here, late apex, and you can really carry some speed. I use the checkpoint as a marker board for me, down a couple of gears. Don't like to hit that curb on the inside, it unbalances the car. And again, because we're downhill, you want to turn in early. You'll always get the tyres squealing before getting on the power, shifting up as you exit the corner. I'm using the first marker board here for my braking, down through the gears, and then just accounting for the width of the car. Now it's set up this way, works perfectly. This is tricky, I'm cutting it close in terms of the car to the barrier, but it works for me. And then there's a nice line in terms of the tyre marks to see when you can get on the power, using the power to push the car wide. As we go down the start finish straight for another lap. Nearly losing it there, and again that just shows you how, you know, you are closer to the limit than it looks sometimes. You know, once you hear those tyres squealing, there's a certain amount of, but I was able to recover. Unfortunately though, in this time trial mode, it's kind of thrown me off. So you can see that corner again, just wasn't in the right gear all the way through that section then. And so you're trying to account for that loss of speed, and that probably lost me, you know, a second, 1.5 seconds on this lap, which will cost me a decent time trial run, which is a shame, isn't it? It happens like that, but you want to, I tend to like a smoother style in terms of driving. I'm not an aggressive driver compared to some people. You won't see much chopping at the wheel from me. A lot of people like to chop at the wheel, move the car around, slide it. I don't. I prefer to keep traction and be progressive on the power. Sometimes obviously you will see some movement, just simply because you are pushing quite hard. This is a great corner through here because again you can get, the car gets light and moves around a lot. You're trying to carry as much speed as you can. Use the circuit. Lovely. Great to play, great to enjoy. And it'd be good to get some more feedback from Assetto Corsa on the aspects that from the fans who own it, who are helping out, giving feedback to the developers, letting me know what you like best about it, what are the best cars and track combinations, some of the best for racing. Always tricky, that final corner. As we continue this time trial. I'll be a little bit more careful on the power this time, a little bit more careful that time, trying to prevent any more wheel spin, and a bit more careful then as well. So took it a bit more easy through those corners this time. It just shows, you know, you make a mistake like that and then you just want to get into a rhythm again. It's all about rhythm, this mode. It's fast rhythm. You're pushing a bit harder than you would be when you're racing. Yes, you push hard when you're racing, but there's also a margin of error that you need to keep in there for consistency. Otherwise it can all end for you very quickly. We go back down the hill. Some may remember Michael Schumacher being pushed back on the track down here years ago. That was so controversial at the time. But as we come around these final few corners, we get to the end of my time trial mode. That's just been a quick time trial mode on Assetto Corsa I've wanted to share with you. I've got one more coming on the Formula Bath And as ever, there'll be more from me very soon.